You know what? I think as a group, this group really enjoys each other. They work and they like football, and it's a grind sometimes. I think through the spring, and to keep the focus and to keep energy is something that's needs to be a dynamic of a team like ours that's young that has to work to continue to get better. And I think they show that. And that's fun to see as a coach. So coach them. They're going to be there to, and they're into it, and they want you to work the heck out of them to help them get there. Work the heck out of them and help them get there.
Is that that dynamic, that mental approach? Is that a byproduct of? I mean, this roster is more or less one you guys have put together. You know, what I mean, most of these kids were players you brought in. Do you think that's kind of a byproduct of being a roster that you built?
I don't know. I just know that they truly have bought into what we've asked them to do, but they've done a little bit more than that. Like, they're close, and they are invested in each other, and I think they make sure each other stay on track and help each other make the right choices and push each other and pick each other up when they need to, and that's a great team dynamic, and if you can keep that rolling as they keep maturing, be pretty fun.
Is that the kind of thing you've seen on other teams, winning teams you've been around?
Yeah, I think that's a great quality of a winning team. I mean, I think if you got guys that are willing to push one another, they work their tails off, but you need that guy next to you to help you to be great. Set an example and know when to pick you up, and then you're the guy driving the crowd the next time. And that is an awesome dynamic, and it speaks to, the groundwork for having success.
Anybody surprise you on offense?
You know what? I think a lot of guys kind of showed up and surprised in different ways. Just running through, I thought TJ really surprised me where he came from a knowledge standpoint. He always flashed and showed great things, but I thought there was more of a consistency and an understanding that really showed a lot of growth. I think, receiver-wise, you expect to see Tyler, you know what I mean? And it's messed up because it's a freshman year, you expect to see him, but I just love the way he competed in anything that he did, regardless if he was the rabbit, and he was working a special team and he was really the scout team guy. Just the way that you go about doing the business that you love. And some of those young receivers shine. Some of the tight ends, they're all young. Those guys, the way they work. Jamar jumping into different spots and doing different things. So I think there were a lot of guys across the board that kind of showed that they're ready to take that step. They're done being freshmen in some sense, and they're going to take this and run with it. So,
do you feel like you guys have more depth across all positions than we have in the past?
Well, you know what? You don't feel like there's a ton of depth, but you feel like there will be. I think is this a big group that's coming in, and then hopefully this group has shown. I guess working through the spring, as soon as the young kids come in, it'll be competitive, but they also show that you don't have to push anyone. You have a foundation here and at least enough depth that you can work. If someone shines and pushes ahead, great, but you don't have to try to fix any holes.
And that's where you want to be.
That's where you want to be, absolutely. 100%, absolutely correct.
How have your quarterbacks done through these 15 practices?
You know what? I think they've done well. I know Coach is on them and working their tail off and forcing them, but I think the way they've worked in the film room, I think they've taken advantage of the reps that they've had by preparing for them well before they touch the field, and created a kind of an approach, the really valuing that single rep, and I think those guys did that, and it was fun. I think that group working together, I think they challenged it, they pushed each other, they got a great kind of relationship there. I just saw a lot more confidence out of them.
Did you guys, as coaches, have a good feel for what they were able to do prior to the spring, or did they show you some new things and say, okay, we might be able to do this with them or that with them?
Yeah, I think we knew a little bit some of the skill set, and then you try to balance that off of how much you want to invest with guys learning new things, and I think we found a good mix. I do, and I think some of their athleticism is fun to play around.